Hi, I'm Debbie Homer-Hofhines with R&K Distributing, one of our mini Floriani educators. And I'm here with DJ Anderson.
Hello.
And he is our director of software, the Floriani software, and the designs. He is definitely our software guru. We love DJ. We are going to kind of show them some fun things today.
Well, good. Let's get started. I can't wait. What are we doing today?
Okay, so I am in love with this new design set. This is our floral tapestry. And I thought it would be fun, DJ, to show them some ideas of what you could do with this. Now, I created this table runner, and DJ, if you want to hold that up.
Yes, I was looking at this earlier. This is absolutely beautiful.
Well, it was fun because those are freestanding designs. If you look at the back of it, DJ, you're going to see that none of that's been embroidered onto the fabric. So we even have more samples behind us that we have done this design set with. The colors in this are so gorgeous. They're beautiful. Well, what I thought would be fun, DJ, is to take one of these flowers and turn it into a freestanding design.
All right. Well, how do we do that?
We're going to go into the software.
Okay.
Because you have to be able to have a clean cut. If you'll notice, and here's one that's all burned out so that you can see. And we're going to burn it out.
With what?
With this really cool heat craft tool over here.
Okay, I remember that from the last little episode we did. You made me cut some fleece.
Yes.
So we're going to use that to cut out these freestanding
That's exactly
designs.
right. Now,
you're not going to make me do it though, are you?
Pardon me?
You're not going to make me cut it out.
Oh, yes, you are. Yes, you get to do it too.
Okay,
so if you look at that, see how we have to have a nice clean cut.
Yes.
So when I'm looking at these designs, DJ, I'm looking to see which one that doesn't have like long little curly stems. Well, this one looked pretty close, but the flowers down in the bottom just weren't going to work because they were too fine. So I want you to go into the software and show how easy it is to alleviate these bottom flowers and make this nice clean cut for this flower.
Okay, that shouldn't be too difficult.
Okay.
So we're just going to go into that that design.
Right.
And
so you're going to
go ahead and I'm going to open up the software here.
And this is the large floral, I think number 3 or number 4.
Okay. Let's go to open. And let's see, large 4. That looks
number
like it's
4.
the one.
Yes.
Let's hit open. Okay, so when this design comes up, so you're wanting to eliminate this section right
because
here.
If you try to burn all that out, it's just too fine, and it's not only that, but notice how none of those flowers are connected. So it wouldn't work. I just want the top part of that.
Well, that'll be really easy to do inside the software. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the sequence view. I could come in here and I could select around or select each one of these, but the easier way to do it is just go to the sequence view and locate them. And I love in the new FTCU, we're able to see the icons of the designs a little bit easier. So it looks like this piece right here is the green. And so it looks like it's these 3 objects right here. So what I'm going to do is just select the first one, hold down Shift, and select the other 2. And I'm just going to right-click and choose Delete.
But you just destroyed this design.
Why did I destroy the design?
Because now this design is not complete if I want to use it for something else later on.
Okay, well, we don't have to. We can save it as a different file.
Okay.
So that when we go to do this, we still have the original.
Okay.
So that we don't have to worry about it in that. And we could actually do something and name it to say freestanding.
Revised or something.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So it's really, really simple to do. So we'll just go to File, and we'll go to Save As. And let's just name this one at the end of it. I'll just change this. I usually put a little underscore, and I'll just do free standing.
Great, so we're going to know that that one is specifically for this.
Yep, and I'll hit save, and that's it.
Okay, so
really simple to do.
while you're in here, DJ, why don't you show them? I mean, I get questions all the time. I don't know how to get it from my computer to my machine.
Okay. Well, you know, each machine's a little bit different, but most of them will work with a jump drive. So the first thing you have to do is you have to know exactly which format your machine reads. And so once you know that, all you have to do is make sure you put in a jump drive, and then...
So you're talking like a USB stick?
Yes.
Okay.
And so what you'll do is you'll put that into your computer, and you'll just go to File and Save As. And when you do this, you just need to locate your jump drive. And once you locate your jump drive, you just need to come down here to the bottom and select the format needed for your machine. Since you use a brother machine, we'll go ahead and choose the PES version 9.
So it's really easy to do this, and it's amazing to me how many people don't understand how this really works, because they don't know how to get it from here to their machine.
Yeah, it's really simple. You know, you just have to have your jump drive, make sure it's the right one for your machine, and it's as simple as just opening, you know, have the design open, go ahead and hit File, Save As. You got to locate that jump drive and then choose your format, hit Save, and it's there. You can take that jump drive then to your machine.
Perfect.
And load it. So
and
pretty
the
simple
other thing that I think is awesome, DJ, is how easy it is to actually take this design and just be able to alleviate a little bit of it to turn it into this beautiful flower.
Oh yeah, just as simple as going into that sequence view like we just did, and just select those things and delete them away. And
very easy.
But it is important. I'm glad you brought it up. It's very important that when you do make a modify the design in any way, you do want to save it. You know, use a different name to save it for, so you don't get it confused with your original design. And we always do recommend saving it into your format for your software, which ours is a WAF format, and then save it to the format of your machine.
Great. Perfect. All right, so hey, let's stitch this out then.
All right,
okay,
sounds good.
So what we're going to do then is I've actually stitched this out onto 2 layers of no-show mesh.
Okay, so I see this mesh, you have it going in different directions. Is that for a reason?
Well, there is a lot. If you look at the stitch count on this design, it had like what, almost 50,000 stitches. And by crisscrossing this at a 45, it just gives it so much more strength. I can actually enhance the stitch count 3 to 4 times, because 1 layer of no-show mesh is good for about 8 to 10,000 stitches.
Okay.
The way this is manufactured, and you can see how this is made, by just turning that at a 45, it gives me much more strength to be able to stitch this out.
Well, that's a good tip, because we all have these large designs we want to turn into freestanding designs, and so I guess the important thing to take from this is to always make sure you put 1 layer at 45.
It does help. It helps a lot. I will say one thing, that when I get this all embroidered and I'm done, I like to turn it over and cut all the little threads off the back so that I don't have to worry about running into those when I'm burning through. They drive me crazy.
There's a word for it.
What's that?
It's called OCD.
Oh, well, that could be. We both are.
I do the same thing.
So I like to, yes. So I just trim all those away. Okay, so I've got the tool over here. I'll start, but guess what? You're gonna finish.
Okay. Well, let's see. I'll see how it goes. I'll see if I want to jump in.
It is so easy to do, and you've done it. I know you can do it. Now, there's a myth out there that if you have polyester thread, you can't do this, and that's not true. Everybody thinks you can only burn if you have rayon thread, and that's not the case. You want to keep the tool moving, and I don't recommend you go right next to the thread. You want to come out just a little bit. But guess what? If you happen to get a little bit too close, fray block is our lifesaver.
So you just use a little of that.
Add a little bit.
And so as you're burning it, even though you don't get up to the edge, because of the heat, it's probably going to help sink that in, so you wouldn't even see the edge anyways.
And the no-show mesh just kind of melts next to the thread.
Gotcha.
So, all right. I like to put it on a ceramic tile. Okay, so we'll just put this on our ceramic tile here, and it is easier if you leave it inside the hoop. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to start this, and we're going to have a nice clean cut, because you alleviated the bottom of that for me, so I don't have to worry about it. And I'm just keeping the tool moving. It's not difficult.
Wow, looks like you're going pretty fast too, so it's not too difficult to
It's
cut through
not-
that mesh.
Not at all. And no-show mesh works great because it has a nylon base. You need to remember, though, that every place this is metal is very, very, very hot.
Okay.
And you can burn yourself big time with this. Okay, I'm going to go up here, and then now you get to do it.
Okay, how much?
You're
Okay.
gonna. I want you to do a lot. Now, here's a little tip.
Okay.
Sometimes you'll notice that the no-show mesh builds up, and you can see it bubble up on the end and start to get black. So I use this little wire toothbrush. I don't recommend you brush your teeth with this.
I was going to say that might hurt a little bit.
But this works good to keep the end of your tip all cleaned off. And also, by doing that, then you don't have the black that builds up on the edge.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good trick. I didn't know that because especially when we did the Trapunto film, which if you haven't seen it, you have to watch it because we had a lot of fun filming that.
was fun.
But that I noticed that a lot of black started building up, so that I didn't realize that there was a tool that you could use to
Works great.
help get that so it
Yeah,
doesn't.
this is just wire bristles.
Good deal.
All right, you ready for this?
Well, I guess I'll
Do you
try
remember
it.
that jacket of yours that you brought into me?
You
that
know,
had
I
a
was thinking
hole?
about that with this, and I should have brought it. I mean, I didn't realize we were going to be doing this specific thing today. But a few years ago, you know, Debbie used to be in our office, and I brought in a jacket. It was my favorite jacket. It had a little hole in it. And I was like, Debbie, is there anything that you can do to fix this jacket? Because I didn't want to get rid of it. And so she said, sure, and she went and she fixed it. I didn't realize what she did, but from the sounds of it, it sounds like you use this technique to patch
Freestanding
up
designs
the hole.
are just fun. There's so many fun things you can do with it. So,
I always wondered how to make them, so this is good.
all right, I'm going to trade you spots.
All right, so
Okay,
you're just
go
going to
for
go.
this, DJ. You can
So
do
kind
it.
of like when we did the
Oh,
Trapunto.
you're left-handed here.
I know, left-handed, and
Oh, you're a natural. Look at that.
wow, this really
It's not hard, is it?
It's a little bit easier than doing the Trapunto because it's not as thick, but that Trapunto project was fun, too.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah, be sure and watch that if you haven't seen our Trapunto video, because that's a great ideas and great techniques with that as well. See how easy?
Yeah, it's really simple.
And it does make a difference, I think, when you leave it in the hoop, it keeps it more taut. And definitely have something underneath, like your ceramic tile, so you're not burning it through.
Should we take a look at it, or are we going all the way through? Or?
Well, I think we've probably done
Okay.
enough to show them what. And we
Good
can burn
deal.
the whole thing out, and that's what I've done. Now, here's a couple little hints. When I do these and I get all done, I'll turn it over to the wrong side and I'll put an iron on it to kind of flatten it out and kind of set the stitches as well.
Okay.
So now we need to attach this.
Yeah, I was going to wonder. So, because we noticed on the back side we didn't stitch through it, and so how did you attach these freestanding designs to that project?
I used invisible thread.
Okay. Gotcha.
And it's invisible, so you don't have to worry about making any kind of mistakes. And you're going to use free motion.
Okay.
So I like to use the clear open toe foot on my machine. And I use what's called, it's called a lightning stitch. It's like a little tiny zigzag that looks like a stretch stitch. And you're literally going to feed this through yourself.
Wow.
So, and you don't have to freak out, because remember, you're going to use invisible thread. And I use
Gotcha.
invisible thread on the top, and I also use invisible thread on the bobbin.
Because I was going to say, I don't see any, I could see your little outline stitch here, you know, where you tacked on the back side a little bit, but I don't see anything on the design at all.
Nope, you can't see it.
I mean, you can't even see that.
And that's the cool thing. So if you get off a little bit, you just go back on. It's really easy. And it works great. Couple little hints about invisible thread that might help you is when you wind a bobbin of invisible thread, be sure and slow your machine down to half speed. It's a
Okay.
polyester monofilament thread. So what happens is the faster it goes, the more friction and heat that it causes. So it causes that thread to swell, and it literally chokes the bobbin. And one of two things will happen. Either the bobbin will literally explode in a million pieces, which is
that wouldn't be
horribly,
good.
it's horribly dangerous. Or the other thing that can happen is you will not be able to get that bobbin off the top of your machine. Slow it down to half speed, and you only need to wind half of a bobbin.
Oh, wow.
Very easy. You don't have to adjust your machine. People think that you have to go in and adjust your tension. No, I've even had people say, well, I'm worried, I've heard that it's going to destroy my tension. No, that's a myth. No, it will not. I use invisible thread all the time and absolutely love it.
Neat. That's a neat technique.
It is. It's a lot of fun. You can do a lot of fun things with
I might
it.
have to learn how to sew
You may have to.
to be able to do it myself. But I enjoy having you do those things for me. So
Yeah, I know you
fix
do,
my
but you need to
issues.
learn how.
Okay.
This has been fun. We hope that you've learned something today. Of course, be sure and keep in mind our beautiful new design that we have called Floral Tapestry. That's absolutely beautiful. One of our new collections. And we hope you've learned something today, and come back and join us again.
All right. That was fun. Thank you, Debbie,
Hey,
for letting
great.
me come in and do this with you.
Thank you.